Decision Plus has been and still is a leading stock market service provider. From training to coaching, we cover it all. Try both our software as well as our coaching site, completely free for 10 days without obligation. No credit card is needed to sign up for the trial. The trial subscription will be automatically canceled for you at the end. DecisionPlus.com, your stock market service center. Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try marketgurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above. Market Vision Plus is the trading companion of so many investors. Make your fundamental and technical analysis easy with Canada's #1 stock market decision-making software. Research, decide, and follow your positions with Market Vision Plus. See the menus just above this program and try Market Vision Plus for 10 days without any obligation after the show. When it comes to day trading, Trader Plus is the right tool. Track 50 quotes simultaneously, create dozens of quick lists, display as many as 30 real-time intraday charts at the same time. Watch the action with candlesticks or bar charts as fast as 10 seconds. See the market by sectors. Use the chart models already prepared for you. Try Trader Plus for 10 days in the menu above without any obligation.
Hello everybody, welcome to this Swing Trading Show. Today we're Thursday, April 30th, 2015. The question bar is open, folks. If ever you have any questions, feel free to ask them. It will be my pleasure to answer those questions. Now let's take a look at some news though, because today the market situation is kind of, well, if we take a look at this, let's put more data here on that market to give us some perspective. Well, the markets remain totally weak. What we were monitoring at opening on the SPY, if we take a look at this here, we were monitoring to see if ever we could have what's called some kind of a bullish divergence, meaning that on the SPY at opening, we had a bottom that was here on April 29, and we're looking at if the MACD on this bottom that was lower than this one, could this bottom on the MACD be slightly higher than this one here? If it was, that would have been a bullish divergence, and that could have actually led to a rebound on the market. But finally we didn't have any divergence at all, because we had a bottom here on the MACD and a bottom lower when we went lower on the MACD. So that's actually a clear sign where we don't have a bearish divergence, neither a bullish divergence, and so far markets remain totally flat. So with this situation here, we're still at risk of potentially reversing this upward trend on the market. It's a situation where you should be cautious, especially reduce some of your positions. For instance, on marketgurus.tv, there have been a lot of positions that we have closed. There was one positions that we had, for instance, which was Poet Technology. Poet Technology, it's like that we recommended here on marketgurus.tv on April 27. The stock was surging by almost 6 to 7%. So it was, the loss potential was really great on a stock like that. Now finally, that stock today confirmed that we can no longer hold on to it, because since this breakout of April 27, the stock has lost more than 7%. So that's a really big loss potential. The stock also went lower than all those former resistance of April 16, 17, 20, and 20th, which confirms that there's a clear bearish momentum. So this is why we decided to close out positions on Poet Technology, which went lower than all that former resistance of the last few days. So this is actually the strategy you should do. Continue to make sure that whenever you have some stocks that are reversing either the short-term upward trend or intraday-wise going below an important form of resistance, it's definitely a signal where you should close your positions. The market is tough though, because we are stuck within a clear, well, I'm gonna say sideways formation. It's not really a sideways formation. It's a correction that continues in the market. But even though the short opportunities have been really not that great on the market, simply because every time that we go down, usually there's always a risk that we rebound. And by taking a look here at the situation on the NASDAQ, look, we are testing the 50, 30-day moving average. So that could be a signal where we could rebound. And this is one of the reasons why the NASDAQ, after testing the 30-day moving average and 50-day moving average, rebounded. We're testing it again. So to confirm that there's a clear bearish momentum that we will feel more comfortable to short, we need to go lower than this bottom here on the NASDAQ. And if it does, well then SQQQ will definitely be one of the greatest bearish ETF to trade. And SQQQ, though, so far is staying neutral, only higher than 2480, that it will be interesting. Now, if we take a look at the situation here on the TSX, what is the TSX doing? The TSX so far almost the same situation as the NASDAQ, technically speaking, where we're testing a support that could be the reversal of this upward trend here on the TSX. So the TSX, while taking a look at this, same situation. We have tested the 30 and 50-day moving average and we rebounded. Investors are reluctant to let the TSX go further down. So for the TSX, we'll need the index to go even lower than that bottom here. So the TSX is a little bit more resistant compared to the NASDAQ index. And on the TSX, the sectors that are doing pretty well have been the energy sector, where we have a rebound. And this is the sector where I'm going to focus my attention on the next segment, because yesterday, this is where we had several breakouts on the sector. And this is where we actually recommended on MarketGurus.tv another opportunity to get some exposure on the energy sector. So those of you who have some questions about energy stocks, of course, I'll be more than happy to answer them, because it's a sector that continues to remain slightly strong. So welcome back, folks. We have here the energy sector that is in a situation where oil is pursuing slightly its rally. We have the sector here where several of the breakouts of yesterday, SPN was in a breakout. It was published on MarketGurus.tv. The full list was published on MarketGurus.tv. So SPN, clear breakout, was a breakout yesterday. Now it's a pursuit of the bullish cycle. Marathon Oil Corp has a slight correction, but there's no need to close that position. Bill Barrett, a nice situation where the stock is pursuing its rally. Whenever you have a position that is making 5%, take some profit. So far, 2% left on BBG to be able to do so if you bought that stock yesterday. Baker Hughes could be another one that could start a breakout. Precision Drilling Trust, that's actually the stock that we recommended on the energy sector yesterday among our analyst shares portfolio on MarketGurus.tv. The one we recommended was the one on the TSX. Our exit point on that stock is 826. Today the stock is pursuing its rally, so there's no need to close that position. We're holding on to it so far, as long as it remains above 824, 822, which is that support. There's no need to close that position. So it's a hold on most of your positions in the energy sector. However, there are some positions that are more at risk. Let's say I give you an example of positions like POU, Paramount Resources. That's a position that we recommended on MarketGurus.tv on April 14. Since then, we have been able to take a profit on that stock around this area. Right now, you see the stock is on the verge of confirming a potential breakdown, right? And potentially reversing this upward trend. So it's a sector, it's a stock where we're considering to potentially close that positions. Why? Because even if the energy sector is having an intraday rebound, that position here is at risk. We don't want to lose all the gains that we have made on that stock. So we bought that stock here. We took some profit there. Good. We have some cash. So why should we wait for the stock to go even lower than the price that we paid? So this is all about risk strategy in order to minimize the risk, minimize the loss potential in your positions in the energy sector. I'm not saying it's the same for all the stocks in the energy sector, but let's say you already took some profits in some stocks. You have to be slightly, although you can be a little bit more patient, but you have to be willing to close positions that are at risk of reversing their upward trend, and Paramount Resources is one of them. Now, gold is pursuing its decline today. Gold, what happened with gold is that we had the jobless claims that came out, strong jobless claims. I mean, less people asking for jobless claims. So investors are leaving gold, and the gold sector is having a correction heading towards its support. The sector just got back within a neutral cycle. So those of you who bought some positions on the gold sector ahead of the FOMC announcement yesterday, such as Nova Gold. Nova Gold, I remember I said, was one of the best breakout on the gold sector yesterday. Well, there's no need to close that position so far. I think with the sector that just came within a neutral cycle, it's just a moment to hold on to it. Nova Gold Resources, the trend is your friend in a stock like that, as long as it remains above 440. Another one, Barrick Gold, well, it was not a breakout, but Barrick Gold is also having a correction heading towards its support. As long as it remains above 1514, there's no need to close Barrick Gold. Another one, Dator Gold, also as well, right, has a correction. So Dator Gold, as long as it maintains its upward trend, there's no need to close that position on the gold sector. Now, we have one question here from Ricardo. Now, Ricardo has a question here. What is going on with DBO? So D-Box Technology, well, the stock is neutral. I don't know why we had all this surge and the activity on the stock like that. What I advise you to do, Ricardo, is that when you have a stock like this that's moving so impressively, go to Google Finance. You see, if you go to Google Finance, right, you go here. I want to show you here. So you go to Google Finance. If you cannot find the news on marketgurus.tv, because here, this is where we put all the news on all the stocks, right? But if you can't find the news on marketgurus.tv, what I would advise you to do is to go to Google Finance, type the ticker. So you have here the ticker DBO, D-Box Technology. So it's the one on the TSX. That's the venture. That's the one on the TSX. It wasn't a venture. Now it's in the TSX. You click on it, D-Box Technology, and here you can actually classify the news in terms of the date. So as for the date, are there some added news on that stock? So far, we see nothing really on that stock that could explain that important surge, except the only last news that we had is that on February 27. So it's really a wave of buyers that came in, but nothing significant happened that explains that move.
Find answers to your questions by emailing your host at btm@decisionplus.com.
5 good reasons to manage your investments with National Bank Direct Brokerage. Commission fees fixed at $9.95 anytime for all clients and starting at only $6.95 for active investors. No administrative fees if you hold at least $20,000 in your accounts. Registered accounts available in U.S. currency. Powerful tools to help you manage your portfolio. Award-winning customer service and satisfaction levels amongst the highest in the industry. To learn more, visit nbdb.ca or call us now.
Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try marketgurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above.
Welcome back, folks. We have one questions here from GK and DUK. You bought at 79.22, so around here. Analyze, please. Well, GK, that stock here is going down today because a lot of stocks in the utility REIT sector are going down because the Fed, after the FOMC announcement, didn't say that they're not going to raise rates in June. So if they're going to raise rates possibly in June, they left that possibility open. Of course, utility stocks, real estate stocks are going to take a hit because when interest rates rise, their interest rate costs, their financing costs increase. So that is why we have this correction on Duke Energy. It's a sector movement that's widespread in the utility and the real estate sector. Now, you bought at 79.22. Here's where I think that your trade was not optimal. Technically speaking, we had a clear breakout, yes, but one thing you can take into account in your other trades is to see when we have a breakout, do we have a bearish divergence? And on this stock here, we had one. What I would advise you to do, if you have the market vision software, you could put a MACD histogram of 7287. So you go in the market vision software, analysis, you add MACD histogram. As for the specifications, 7287. Now, look at this. The MACD histogram here on this high, right, which was a breakout because that was a neutral formation. That was a breakout, this one here. The MACD was around here. Now, on this breakout that you bought on April 22nd at 79.22, where was the MACD? Around this area. So the stock went higher than this high here of April 6th, but the MACD histogram was lower. So that's a clear bearish divergence on a stock like that. So this is another indication that you can take a look at to see, can I believe in a breakout on a stock like that? So for those reasons, because we had this bearish divergence, it was not a great buy, GK. There's also the fact that with the comments made by the FOMC yesterday, you have a selling pressure on the utility sector. It's not helping your stock. So I would be okay to close out positions right now. Or if you want to remain slightly patient and wait and respect your support, well, maximum 76.66 though, I'll get out on a stock like Duke Energy. So for me, that would be the strategy. Right now, we have a bearish divergence. Also, look at the 10-day moving average is almost crossing the 30-day moving average, which is in yellow. So the 10-day is in red, and the yellow is the 30-day. So we're almost crossing it down, which means that it will be totally bearish. We slightly going below the 200-day moving average, which is in green. So there's definitely a lot of bearish signal on a stock like that. So closing it right now ahead of this, before the breakdown of that support of 76.80, for me, it's still a good strategy on a stock like Duke Energy. And also, so two things you should take into account first. As I said, look at with the MACD histogram. Can you believe in a stock like that? Does it confirm a bearish divergence? We did have this because first, this high was higher than this one here, and the MACD histogram didn't make a new high. It was lower. Second, usually when a stock is breaking out and goes above its 100-day moving average, usually the first signal is not the great one. So usually what we found is that mostly what you should take into account is be patient, do not get it in the first one, wait for a stabilization phase, and maybe the second one will pay off better. So the first one is usually the ones that are more at risk, and this is also one of the reasons why Duke Energy breakout didn't pay off that much. So look at your moving average, look at the MACD histogram. Those are two tips I'll give you to actually make sure that your trades have a higher probability of success in the future. But as I said, you can get out on it right now and wait for 76.22 to get out. Now, you bought HEU at 423. Okay, so you bought yesterday, I'm sure, within this salary information. Look, Eric, I don't think it was the appropriate timing to do so. The energy sector, well, let me rephrase that. I'm wrong. We had a beginning of a bullish movement on HEU. Now we have the sector that's have a slight correction. However, I don't think you should close your positions on HEU. Respect your support and resistance. And on HEU, so far, there's still that upward trend that is maintained. There's still that support at 420 that is not being broken down. So it's a hold on HEU as long as it remains above 420. So if HEU doesn't go below 420, which is that support, there's no need to close HEU. That's an ETF that we still have in our analyst shares portfolio. However, we're in a situation, if ever the energy sector starts a bearish cycle, we're going to close that positions. And you should do so if ever HEU breaks 420. Right now, let's hope that at this level that we could see a wave of buyers that's coming in because oil remains strong, and that allow HEU to actually be at towards the 40% range and allow also the energy stocks to resume their rally of yesterday. So there's no need to rush your move on that stock, on that ETF. Hold on to it as long as it remains above 420. That's my advice on a stock like that, Eric. Now, as for the best day trade of the day, it's that stock here, VLTC. it has been recommended several times, but really that stock continues to be active, though. A lot of traders on that stock. One entry point here, another one there, another one there. The next entry point is going to be at 11.05 on a stock like VLTC. So that's the day trade of the day. Today, it's a moment where we are in a critical situation in the market, I would say. On a new low intraday, especially on the NASDAQ, bearish ETF might pay off. Energy stocks are slightly pursuing their rally, but overall, folks, we don't have new buying signal in the sector. And the gold sector is going down because the jobless claims have been better, which means less people asking for jobs, so investors are leaving the gold sector. But there's no need to close your position so far if, only if, they still maintain their upward trend. If they don't, we're going to have to close them, and this is why on PTK, on the Venture Index, we decided to close that positions on MarketGurus.tv. So folks, I wish you all a good trading, and see you tomorrow on the Swing Trading Show.